Hello everyone, Tom with Capo Fetish. Let's talk about some favorite non-British invasion hits from 1964. So this first one here, I wish my band back in the day had done a cover of. I wish we had like kind of revved it up a little bit and rocked it out. Love this track. It came out in July 64. It was a #7 hit on the Billboard charts and here in the US. And that is Gene Pitney's It Hurts to Be in Love. On the Music Core Records label, of course, this is the vinyl LP, not the single, but I don't know what it is about this track. I've just always loved the melody. It's just hook-filled. All the parts are really, really well constructed. There's something about his double-tracked voice, too, that's kind of weird and creepy. Kind of has this kind of high-pitched, kind of weird sound to it. Plus the column response vocals from the female backup singers is great. I don't know, it's just really, and the production is so raw, right? Like a lot of these singles from this day and age. I think it's just absolutely infectious. If you've never heard this track, Gene Pitney's It Hurts to Be in Love, pull it up online, check it out. Fantastic. Another one too, one of my all-time favorite songs, not just from 64, but from all time, is Walk On By from Dionne Warwick. Now this is a reissue. This came out on Record Store Day, probably about 10, 15 years ago. And it's cool. It's on blue vinyl, and they tried to kind of recreate the original Spectre label here, putting Rhino on it. What's cool about this though is it features a remake by the Stranglers doing Walk On By on the flip side. So just it's a win-win, this single here. The Stranglers version and Dionne Warwick's. Now, I think this is, as far as like Burt Bacharach and Hal David songs go, I think this is one of their top 3 of all time. It's just so perfect, covered by so many people at this point. And I just never get tired of it. I love the kind of the non-conventional chords that are going on here in this song, really like surprisingly kind of creep up on you, you know, when you listen to it, it's like, oh, I like that piano chord. Just a lot of just surprises and just real creativity going on here. Very sophisticated pop from 1964. Just an absolute classic. Walk On By Dionne Warwick, written by Hal David and Burt Bacharach. A #6 on the US charts, released in April 64. About 10 years ago, maybe 10, 12 years ago, my wife and I were vacationing for a few days on Catalina Island in Southern California. We stopped into this bar on the island and they were playing this song. And what's weird about this track is that it was a #4 hit in July 64, and yet you never hear it on oldies radio stations. So I was really surprised to hear it just blasting out of this bar in Catalina. And I'm talking about Gail Garnett and the song We'll Sing in the Sunshine. So she was a New Zealand-born Canadian, and this song won a Grammy in 1964 for folk song. And it's just so infectious. It's very much of its day. It has that kind of just real sunshiny pop kind of feel. But I remember when I came out of the bar that day in Catalina, I could not get the song out of my head for like 2 days. It's just an amazing little pop track here from 64. So Gail Garnett will Sing in the Sunshine on RCA Victor. Really, really cool track here from 64. Another one too, I love Bossa Nova. I'm a huge Bossa Nova freak, so I've got to put this in there. The Gets Gilberto, The Girl from Ipanema, of course, this is the single. This is the single edit. The best version is on the Gets Gilberto album from 63, 64. Now, this was recorded a whole year prior to it being released in May 64. This was a #5 Billboard hit. And I just love Astrud Gilberto's vocal on this. And that whole album, that whole Gets Gilberto album is just a flawless masterpiece, 5-star album. This song is just so phenomenal. It's just been covered by so many artists, but I still love the original. It's so fantastic. There's just nothing like it. That melody is so unique, that bittersweet melody. What's unique about the 45 version, though, of The Girl from Ipanema is that it features an instrumental version of Blowin' in the Wind by Dylan, by Stan Getz. Real uppity version of Blowin' in the Wind. So if you never heard it, check it out. Flip side, Blowin' in the Wind. of the single Girl from Ipanema from 1964. Just an absolute legendary bossa nova track. One of my absolute all-time favorites. Another one, another great track too, that you don't really hear a whole lot on oldies radio. You usually hear his other hit. But this one is a fantastic track. Del Shannon's Keep Searching. This is a number 9 on the US charts in 64, November 64. And I remember years ago when I was working in a mailroom, when I was in my early 20s, I remember we had K-Earth 101 on all day long, and we'd hear a lot of variety of songs. This is before radio became very like, oh, we're only going to play the top 40 songs of all time every day, all day. Back then, K-Earth played hundreds of different oldies all day long. And I remember hearing this song quite a bit, Keep Searching by Del Shannon. And what really struck me about this track is how much the verse sounds just like a Hurricane by Neil Young. I mean, it's literally, the verse vocal melody is identical to that Neil Young track. So I wonder if Neil Young kind of lifted that from this particular track, or was it just kind of a coincidence? But man, it is just identical. Check out this track. Keep Searching, listen to that verse vocal, and then check out Like a Hurricane, the verse melody of Neil Young's track. Tell me that doesn't sound just like it. So a really, really cool track here from Del Shannon. I like the way the guitar starts off and everything. Usually you hear Runaway constantly, but you never really hear Keep Searching. Great track. Another one, probably one of my favorite Motown tracks from 64 is not by the Supremes or the Temptations or the Four Tops. It's Mary Wells, My Guy, written by Smokey Robinson. Such a fantastic track. Smokey Robinson really was just an absolute, top tier songwriter, writing for the Motown roster, as well as recording his own material with the Miracles. But My Guy is just, and the thing about Mary Wells is that she was kind of like the early star of Motown. Just in 1962 alone, she had like 3 huge hits: Two Lovers, You Beat Me to the Punch. What's the other one? The other one is The One Who Really Loves You. 3 just amazing tracks from 62. My Guy came out, and I don't know if she really had any other huge hits after this. It seemed like maybe a lot of the other artists on the roster were kind of taking over her stardom, perhaps. The Supremes, the Temptations, the Four Tops. But Mary Wells, what a voice, and just a handful of fantastic early 60s hits on the Motown label. So I'm going with My Guy here from 64. This is a number 1 hit, released in March of 64. Fantastic stuff. Another one here, this is a reissue, but I'm throwing it in the mix. I've always loved the production of this track. A lot of people have covered it. Even the Zombies covered it in 66. This is the original, Going Out of My Head from Little Anthony and the Imperials. This is just a reissue that was from the 1990s. This isn't the original label here, but I just love, like, it's almost sounds like a Phil Spector kind of production. Very expansive sounding and full, a lot of reverb and echo, and I love Little Anthony's voice. I love when that chorus kicks in. It's so life-affirming. Just really good stuff here. This was a number 6 hit on the Billboard US charts, released in 64, and still my favorite version. I think it's just fantastic. So Going Out of My Head, Little Anthony and the Imperials from 1964, a number 6 in the US. And last on the list is a track. I don't have the 45, but I love this band, this act, the Drifters. They had so many great hits, and the one from 64 especially, Under the Boardwalk. This is a great collection here. The Drifters' Golden Hits off the Atlantic imprint. It has all their great early 60s hits. So the story with this, with the vocal on the Boardwalk, Under the Boardwalk, is there was a guy named Rudy Lewis, who was the lead singer at this point in the Drifters' career. And he died the night prior to recording this song. So they had to pull in Johnny Moore, who was in the band previously. He'd just come out of the Army, and he sung the vocal. So just a weird twist of events going on here with Rudy passing right before he was about to lay the vocal down the night prior, and then them bringing in previous member Johnny Moore. But I think it's just a fantastic track with an incredible melody. I just love Under the Boardwalk, and so many other hits too. like Up on the Roof and This Magic Moment and Some Kind of Wonderful. Just a great vocal group here. The Drifters, Up on the Roof from 1964. What are your favorite non-British hit or non-British invasion hits from 1964? Let me know in the comment section. As always, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. If you dig the content across the channel, please press subscribe. It's absolutely free. We will see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.